All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, viewers of Flux Motorsport TV, to Willow Springs International Raceway 2021 Season 1, Round 2 of the Flux Motorsport IndyCar Championship. We are at Willow Springs International Raceway for tonight's event in the IndyCars. Last week at Long Beach was a thriller. And I'm getting some chatter here, so let me handle this real quick. A few guys hoping to see them come wandering in here at the last minute. Get myself out on the track, getting the last few guys out here. I myself will retire and spectate. Sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. Get back out onto the track. Looks like we have 11 starters at the moment. Got a couple that may be on the way. Had a heck of a GTE race out here last night with Lucky 2000 getting the win, but coming in here to week 2, IndyCar's coming just up the coast from Long Beach to Willow Springs, out here in the desert, Death Valley, California, basically. Or as one of my old partners in sim racing, one of my old teammates used to say, this is about 20 miles from where Charles Manson spent his last free night, so make of that what you will. But definitely a fast, intriguing track, especially in these high downforce Dallara chassis IndyCars with Chevy and Honda motors. With me a moment, ladies and gentlemen, during some audio difficulties. Trying to deal with one of my color commentators who's not quite ready for prime time on the air yet. But looking forward here, 15 minutes left. Right now, Jiggly Jello, we're going to get on with him in the number 20 Carpenter Dallara Chevy. currently putting on what is at the moment top lap time. But I expect to see some real changes here. As the session goes on, of course. Was looking forward to seeing NZ Jack on the reserve list. He ran second in that tremendous duel with Cat Guy last week at Long Beach, but was unable to on the driver's list to secure a ride apparently. But he is second in points, I believe. He has an invite to the race, so we're hoping to see him. Yeah, he won't be able to make the race. He checked out today. Unfortunate. He really had a tremendous performance last week at Long Beach, half a second after the 45-minute race in the battle with Cat Guy. Give us a reason to look at our third place finisher from last week, Green Gaiman, currently in the 106s here early in the qualifying session. He ran up from a 10th place starting spot to a podium finish last week at the, as everyone knows, brutally tough Long Beach circuit. And this leading off to back-to-back oval races. Will be at Texas Motor Speedway next week and Indianapolis Motor Speedway in week 4. So they're going to be breaking out the Speedway aero kits here on the Delares. But you heard us discuss it quite a bit last night if you were managed to watch the GTE race here. Been a long time stop for a lot of the veterans coming over here that have run in the American region before, now running in the Flux American Tour. And we've seen this track play host to a lot of great races. You're going to see, especially with these cars, it's going to be aerodynamic. As Dale puts up a fast lap, 101.0, top the speed chart right now in the Target Chevrolet. You're going to see aerodynamics play a part here as these cars are going to get light, get aero push when they're behind someone. And I think, as everyone spoke about, even with the authentic tire wear here, or a harder compound, if you will, for the IndyCar as Survivor, I believe that was, goes around, you're going to see tire wear being a major factor in this race. Who can manage it? I think that the guys that can hold it to one pit stop, the guys that can hold it to just one pit stop will be in better shape. I think anybody who makes 2 or more stops or has to make obviously any stops for damage is going to be in they're going to be in a bit of trouble over getting along over the long haul. But based on what we know of these drivers, you know, obviously you've got Cat Guy coming in up front. Green Gaiman had a good reason, the top 5 in points, but 2 of the top 5 not racing this week, and that's Jack and Muttley. Not quite sure why Muttley is not showing up, but it does make this wide open. That means that a lot of guys looking from about 6th on back, Raven, Jiggly Jello, Dale the Whale, CMC, One Shoe, Ed Yeager, all these guys, experienced IndyCar drivers, could really gain something this week and move up in the points. But Cat Guy's in the driver's seat as far as if he can maintain, run up on the podium again, he should be able to build a decent sized lead, depending on what those other main competitors do. As we're closing in on halfway through the session, let's take a look at what our timing penalties look like. We've got a few coming up already. A grid place for Survivor and a grid place for Ed Yeager, who's up in 5th. Good chance to leave the timings up real quick. I only do this during qualifying, but a chance for people to see the sector times that guys are running on those last laps. I see 11s and 10s all through Sector 3. That is the fast 7, 8, 9 second carousel complex. 10.8s, 10.9s the fastest early 11s. that all depends on the run you get coming out of Wheel Hop Ridge. So that makes Wheel Hop Ridge critical for that section. It looks like it makes it critical in the case of about half a second. It's looking like solid 20s through Sector 2. That would be everything including the 4, 5, and 6 right turn ridge complex, and everybody's running. Fastest looks like it's in the high 20s, and most of the guys are within the 20s there. Although that might be no, that's part of the section that includes 4, 5, 6, 7. 10-second section is the last turn, basically. Well, let's get a little time. Why don't we go on the guy currently sitting on the pole by a comfortable margin and give a cockpit view where Dale the Whale is. He's coming through. You look at your track map. He's coming through the carousel turns 2 and 3, heading up to 4 here on the left. The car gets real light right here, and you've got to be real careful getting the power down. You're going to do the same thing right through here. That's what we call right turn ridge. Off the throttle, downshift. Car gets loose right there. Now here's the big part, Wheel Hop Ridge. When those tires get worn, that car gets light. You've got to perf the throttle through there. Now we should be hitting, okay, I see how they have the sectors divided. This is the whole Sector 2 section, which really makes Sector 3 superfluous in scoring. This is the whole key, is getting to right here. Now you got to maintain that coming off the corner, not go too far wide. And we'll let him take you down through turn 1, because this is another one of the critical parts of the track. You get all the way to the right. You want to dive in hard, keep it down to the inside without getting too loose as it leads you up into the first carousel turns 2 and 3. And that's basically one time around Willow Springs. Lightning quick if we put on the speedo for some of these guys. I mean, we're talking 160s, up to 170. And that's in a car that weighs about 500 or 600 pounds more than most formula cars. So it has a little bit of say robustness, but a little bit of weight behind it. It can be pretty aerodynamically sensitive, to say the least. My name Jeff. These two guys were first row in last week's season opener at Long Beach. I believe it was Dale the Whale getting the pole, and Jeff was on the outside row. And both of them wound up having trouble. Jeff, I don't believe finished, and so did not score. And Dale the Whale wound up in 8th, so they both had trouble in the unforgiving walls of Long Beach. But will they see the same thing here when they come out at Willow Springs? Right now, Dale has a comfortable margin with a 1:1.194, a 1.9 second gap. But as we said, this race is going to be about the race setup and how these guys look. For a long run, I'm expecting to see we're getting laps in the neighborhood of a minute, so that's going to put us at a 44, 45 lap, probably 45 laps or so on the race. And these guys are going to have to keep these tires under them. As somebody who's run many 200-mile races for a while here in these cars, I can tell you, if you got a good setup that'll keep the tires under you, or a good mixture of compounds, not going to say who, but I know that some drivers have experimented, and I know I have in the past, with using different compounds on the front and rear tires, or the right and left tires, or whatnot. And you might see some of that. That could definitely help prolong the longevity of these tires. Now, it's not going to make you as fast as you could be, naturally. But we'll have to wait and see. Well, as we get down to about 5 minutes, I'm going to take a quick station break, get my audio checked. I'm still messing with my mics. Let you guys have a couple minutes here for a quick station break on Flux Motorsport TV. But we're looking forward to a great one tomorrow. Right back again. about 3 minutes to go in the session. Still got Dale the Whale out there. My name Jeff in the 15 Rahal Honda is trying to catch back up. He's got it to within 1.3 seconds, but Dale just put up a monstrous lap to take the pole. Take the provisional pole, I should say, here near the end of the session. Most of these guys making some changes, maybe making a last run, or doing like iMotorsports suggested in the comments of last night's broadcast, getting the race setup on there and getting your muscle memory reset. As I said last week, we had Dale and my name Jeff on the front row, and the race did not go the way they would have wanted. Dale spun it in turn 9. Or I should say, yeah, turn 9 at Long Beach. Most of the field, around a blind corner couldn't see him, and that resulted in a lot of damage he took on. But we had a great finish in that race with Cat Guy getting the win. Using the 61 PureTech Dallara Chevrolet, of course, trying to get himself up a little bit more. I think most people believe that with this being such a track position track, that you definitely want to be in the top half of the field here in qualifying. I have not viewed it myself, but I've heard that such was a similar case in the LMP2 race today at Zhuhai over in China. I know those guys are on the corporate jets flying back on a 12-hour red-eye, scratching their heads from what I've heard. They had some tough, I believe the track conditions were cold, and here, this is in the desert. You're looking at 58-degree ambient, 77-degree track temperature. That's actually very mild. When we get here during the summer months, it will be 130, 140 on the track. But as I mentioned last night, I think the live track will benefit us. The rubber will get laid down in turns 1 and turns 9. The grip will improve as the race goes on, especially with a mild track temperature like that. It's not as warm as you would like it to be. I think ideal is an ambient of around 65, 70 and a track temperature around 85, 90. But it's not too bad as Cat Guy goes wide trying to catch that one. He's going to slide right back on the track and try to finish out his session. But as of right now, as he's following Survivor in the DHL Honda, as of right now, Dale the Whale looks like he may be sitting on his second straight pole position in the Flux IndyCar Championship in 2021 Season 1. Just 11 cars in the field this week, but it should be a tight race, as last night's GTE race was. Also got more action coming up tomorrow. The GT3s, let me take a look. I don't have the schedule right on me. Yes, I do. GT3s will be at Zhuhai as well tomorrow, so they're going to be right back at the track in China, and tomorrow night the stock cars will also be here. Alright, so let's get your starting order. Let's get the starting order for tonight's Flux Motorsport IndyCar Championship of 2021 Season 1. On the pole with his second straight pole will be Dale the Whale in the number 9 Target Chevy. Starting second on the outside pole is My Name is Jeff in the number 15 Honda. Starting third will be Cat Guy, last week's Long Beach winner in the PureTech number 61 Chevy. Starting fourth, a great run again, good qualifying run again. I believe it's his second straight top 5 qualifying run for Jiggly Jello in the number 20 Carpenter Racing car. Survivor manages to qualify 5th. I believe he's got a grid penalty, and so we'll start on the outside of the row with Green Gaming, the podium finisher last week at Long Beach, starting 6th. Starting 7th will be One Shoe in the number 6 car, my broadcast partner from last night with a real good qualifying run. The veteran Ed Yeager will be starting in 8th. In the number 83 Chevrolet, starting in 9th, will be Rye Dog in the Verizon Chevy. Starting in 10th, outside of row 5, will be Raven Maestro in the number 5 Honda, I believe, and starting on all by himself on row 6 will be CMC in the number 10, I believe. Alright, so we're just about set to go here at Willow Springs International Raceway. These guys will have their their 2-minute broom set for them, make their last adjustments. I said we're looking here. Let me get myself retired and spectated and get on the map. As we said, just like last week at Long Beach, it's going to be Dale and Jeff looking to make a dive down to turn 1. Fighting the audio situation here, particularly the little men coming on by. Well, we got One Shoe getting cheered on, I'm assuming by Mrs. One Shoe. We should be getting the start here momentarily. We said just like last week at Long Beach, it's going to be Dale the Whale racing down against Mike and Jeff to turn 1. And we ready to go. IndyCar round 2 at Willow Springs. And we are underway. These cars, remember, I neglected to mention last week these cars have the push to pass, and I'm going to willing to bet these guys are on it right now. As Jeff goes to the outside, we got somebody sliding off there well on the outside. That might have been Ed Yeager, might have been a blue car. In the meantime, Jeff has pulled out in front, taking the lead just over Dale off of the whole shot. Cat Guy coming in 3rd, Survivor in 4th, and Green Gaming rounding out the front 5. Fifth place Green Game, and these guys are right on top of each other. Looks like the car in the back having trouble. Raven Maestro, One Shoe falling back a bit, CMC falling back, and moving up through the field. Green Game and going off bad on the backstretch. I bet you he got bid out by Wheel Hop Ridge there, and he's going to fall all the way to near the back of the field. All right, we got Survivor on the push to pass, moving by Cat Guy. I bet you these guys are going to use about half of their push to pass here during the early laps of the race, just trying to jockey for position. But that judicious use of it got Survivor up into 3rd with Cat Guy right behind him. Meanwhile, Dale not far behind Jeff. He's settled into 2nd. Looking for the cycle of pit stops here, how that's going to play out. These guys got to keep the tires on it. Move back to some other fights here. Jello in 6th, Ed Yeager's right behind him in 7th. CMC's not far behind with 8th, and One Shoe has moved back up into 9th behind him. This is a good chance to get on him. Just a little bit of chase game behind One Shoe. 9th trying to catch these guys. Comes over the bump, slides it a little. Now he's got to be aware of the dirty air here as he comes up behind CMC. These two guys have raced together for a long time. You can see there they're pushing, hoping to avoid it. Doesn't want to go too far to the inside, doesn't want to get the car loose, especially with that heavy fuel load on the back. Back down on the front stretch. Trying to set him up to make the pass. Those guys split their teammates in the 6 and the 8 car, I believe, is what CMC's in. Meanwhile, moving up, still some battles up front. Dale moved past My Name Jeff. He must have had a problem. He's falling back 2.3 seconds. We'll see what his lap time is when he comes by. Meanwhile, Ride Dog still being chased by Ed Yeager in the battle for fifth. That's Ride Dog in the number 12 Horizon car. Ed Yeager in the nasty car behind him. And good luck from Gaz. One of our veterans couldn't make the race tonight. Again, here we go. I'm going to get some cockpit cam on Green Damon. See if Virtual CMC is falling back a little. Yeah, he is. I'm going to try Green Damon, who's right on one shoe's tail and right on Jiggy Jello's tail. The battle of 7, 8, and 9 on the screen. And right now, Green Damon has been falling back to a decent qualifying run. Third air, right there, getting that arrow first. He's got to get off the throttle. One shoe trying to set up Jello in the same way. Just trying to get that place to open the run and try not to burn too much of the tires on it and see how much higher their lap times are. Largely at this point they're in traffic. These guys are starting to fight the cars. 2 laps in and the tires are starting to heat up, and you can see that right there from Green Damon. Alright, Ride Dog, he goes off, and Ed Yeager has moved by him into 5th place. Ride Dog trying to catch him. We'll look at Ed moving by into 5th in the 83 car. He's 21 seconds back. A pretty significant gap here early on, but still a lot of racing left to go. As everybody's still on the lead lap. Ride Dog again having some problems. As he's slow on the outside and needing to rejoin, obviously having some problems in turn 1. And that's going to give Ed Yeager a little bit of a gap to the guys behind him. Meanwhile, Survivor moving all the way up into 3rd place. Moving all the way up into 3rd place from a starting position. He was in 5th at the start, so he's done a pretty good job there of maintaining, but he's also moved up. He's got a couple of seconds. There's Cat Guy coming just off the corner at him at the end. Raven Maestro hitting the pits already, likely for repairs. Tough luck for the Dutchman. But in the middle of the pack here, you've got all on top of each other. That's Ed, no, not Ed Yeager, Jiggly Jello and Green Damon going around the outside, trying to take 6. Damon makes the pass. Well, Jello's got one shoe and Ride Dog right on his tail as these guys mid-pack are right on top of each other. Jello now, you can see those guys, one shoe and Ride Dog right behind him, one shoe in the white number 6, Ride Dog in the silver Horizon number 12. And all of them could be going quicker than they're going. They all ran a second or 2 faster in wet practice and qualifying, but they're on top of each other. They don't have a clear track. They're dealing with third gear, and they're trying to find a place to settle in and race towards the strategy. And right now, that's what this is leading to. But my name, Jeff, and Dale Rail in the 2nd and 1st spot have just pulled well out in front of the field. Running in the 102s and the 103s, they are more than, nearly 15 seconds out of the entire rest of the pack. Back on board, Ride Dog gets some more of our in-car camera from this cockpit. Down in the 120 range. Trying to move up on one shoe without getting too much push to the inside. These guys, like I said, dealing with the toughest part of it goes wide. He's gone wide there a couple times. I'm wondering if the race director will get him for any time penalties. I know they will if he starts the game, as we got a car sliding around, and that appears to be Jiggly Jello, who lost it in right turn ridge there. Got on the power too soon, and he has fallen from the 4th place qualifying spot all the way down to 9th. So he's got to gather himself together and try to pull it out. That's also going to give them a little bit of room on each other here at the moment to allow us to get some time up front with Dale the Rail, who, after making that pass early on Jeff, has gone from the pole to the lead. He's running in the 101s in clean air, and I really think that, although taking nothing away from the pace that Dale and My Name is Jeff are running, I think it has a lot to do with not having people all over you, having clean air to work with, pulling out front. And now these guys, they both need the points. They both need the points to make up for lackluster finishes in round one at Long Beach, and so they're both going to be looking for that. As Dale continuing to tear it up, 101.8. The question you have to ask, though, for a guy running the pace in the 101s, I mean, that's a qualifying pace, is he planning on just building up enough of a lead to make an extra pit stop? Does he have a setup so good that it's actually going to keep those tires on there for the whole run? I mean, it's very tough to tell what exactly he's got up his sleeve here. But as you can see from the car, he's smooth. He's smooth as silk out there on the track. My Name Jeff held the lead for the early couple of laps, now working lap 9. He's running 1:02.5. Let's see what this next one looks like. He was in a Honda, so I guess the interesting thing here is just accept the power. You're watching Chevy and Dale versus Honda with Jeff, although they are tuned practically identical. They have a different package of tuning, different setup map, if you will. But they pretty much pull the same power here. There's not really a difference between them. But right now, Dale is still running about a half a second quicker and stretching that lead out. That guy, meanwhile, Survivor had a problem. He's falling all the way back to the fifth. Unfortunately, he missed that. He was running comfortably in third. And lost his 10 seconds. Running soon off track excursion. Spinning up past by that guy who moved up to third. Taking it to the track after just spinning on the run. And Willow just hit the start finish line. Moved up to fourth. Green Damon and Survivor, stay on them, are battling for fifth. Survivor falling from the podium position back to sixth. So, as we said, early in the race, there's still a lot going on. Especially now that we're 10 laps into the run. This is about the point that some guys started saying about 10 laps in is when the car started getting really skaty. And the tires really started to wear, especially those who the graphics may not reflect it, but the red sidewall and the reds are the ultimate tires, the softer ones. Guys might have staggered compounds or different tires on different parts of the car. Obviously, different front tires might use primary, black primaries. That all depends on, it doesn't necessarily show up as what I'm saying on the graphics that we're receiving on the transmission here. So we'll see how that plays out. Got my two little ones acting as my color commentary here. Both of them are just staring at me like, who are you talking to? Well, I'm talking to the audience of Flux Motorsport TV. And she's still not been able to really pull away. Rydon in one shoe, they're still going back and forth with Jig and Jello not far behind them. As they're coming through the carousel in turn 3. Their pace is picking up here, I believe. They might be guys that have they might have a harder compound, or at least a mixed compound with harder tires, and as the fuel burns, the tires are coming in. I know it takes longer to get those tires to come in, but that could be what we're seeing here. These guys are starting to pick up their pace a little bit, while meanwhile up front, Dale and My Name is Jeff appear to be falling off from their 101, 102 pace, and having to come back down on the next lap. We'll get to see CMC a lap down, making a pit stop, an early pit stop here. That would put him on likely at least the 2 stops. That would likely put him on a 2-stop strategy. Solid driver, had a decent run last week at Long Beach with a 9th place finish after qualifying a little better than that. probably making some repairs, getting the tire changed, trying to get it going. He gets passed for 10th place by Raven Meister, but every point being worth what it is in an 8-round championship, and this just being round 2, you got to get back out there and go for it. Meanwhile, let's cycle back up through the field. We'll get back to the battles once again, back to our leader Dale in the target car, working lap 13 of what we anticipate will be about 44, 45 laps over the 45 minutes, somewhere in that range. And he's built up now a 6.5 second lead on Jeff, but like I said, his lap times are coming back towards the field now, about 14 minutes in. Now, he may have built up easily enough of a gap already to where, I mean, at this point, I'd say he could afford an extra pit stop. But that depends on just how bad the tires are doing. He just ran a 101.8, so obviously he was just starting to work his way through traffic. I think he's good to make it on 1 based on those tires, and with the lead he has, I'm not sure I'd be running a 101 pace. I might just ease back and try to make sure I get to where, get to the marks I need to get to. But as of right now, he's come off the pole, lost the lead early to Jeff, and has reclaimed it, and is in control of this race. Excuse me. Jeff, meanwhile, is coming over the ridge. He's still running in the 103s. We've seen a little fall off. I don't see much movement. We'll see whether he gets it over through the bumps here. The car still looks to be sticking pretty well, and he's comfortably in second. As we said, he went from the second place qualifying spot last week to DNF, so he definitely needs every point he can get. It looks like CMC has withdrawn the car. He might have terminal damage on his Chevrolet, so we're down to 10 cars remaining in the IndyCar at Willow Springs with just about half an hour to go. So 10 cars remaining on the track. Cat Guy, meanwhile, you see him in the PureTech car running a decent pace in the 104s, but at 36 seconds back from leader Dale the Whale. You gotta wonder if Dale's just got that good of a car, or Cat's not feeling it. Who is that going off into the sand? It might be the lap down car. That is Raven Meister. I believe he's hitting the pits yet again, and indeed he is. But Cat Guy's got about 6 seconds on Ed Yeager back in the 4th spot. No need to panic here in this situation for Cat. 37 seconds back, may not be a gap that he can push to catch up on. But with a win last week at Long Beach, with 2 speedway races coming up and the roll of the dice those can be, I think solidifying a podium finish, rather, would certainly keep him in the points lead and set him up well heading back east to Texas and Indianapolis. Special shout out as he's got somebody coming around him. That's Green Gaiman making the pass. That looked like a push to pass effort, so we'll move it back up. Green Gaiman moving past Ed Yeager into 4th. Green Gaiman on the podium last week, as we said, at Long Beach. And then this week he managed to qualify 6th for today's race, so he's back up into the top 5, into the top 4 spot. And he's got Ed right on his tail. Let's get some more cockpit cam from Ed as he's trying. He'll take us around a lap here at Willow Springs, much like he did during qualifying. Ed falling back a bit from them. And we've got one shoe hitting the pits here at the 28-minute mark. Perhaps at this point, I believe he might be in the window for a scheduled pit stop. I mean, it's a little earlier than everybody else might be coming in, but he is making that change, and that was definitely a quick fuel and tire stop. So let's see how he comes out. Ride Dog is right behind him in the Verizon car. He's getting service. So these guys coming in, what I would think, don't quote me on that, but what I would think would be right around the opening of the pit window. So we'll have to see how that works out, as one shoe's going to come out. He's got no traffic to blend with, at least immediately on top of him. But I believe that is the leader coming up behind him. No, it's not. He might already be a lap down since he cycled through the pit stop. Meanwhile, back up to where we were, Ed Yeager holding it 5th, back to 6th. Survivor is around and that is coming off of turn 9. He is way out in the sand, and what started off as a promising race for Survivor, running up in the top 3, starting to go wrong. He is falling back to 6, and he's now going to have Jiggly Jello right back on top of him, battling for that position. So I think at this point, Survivor just he's got a pit stop coming up. Those tires are wearing off. Just buckle down, get your breath, get your focus back, and realize that it's still very doable to get a top 5 finish here in this race. Meanwhile, Jello, 4th place qualifying run today, 4th place last week. He's shown speed here in the IndyCar series. He's a new driver, I believe, at least in his first couple of seasons here at Flux Motorsport. And he had an impressive run in qualifying last week. The race, I believe, his finish, let me double check, his finish last week, I believe, was in the, I've lost my spot, but I believe he was around 7th or 8th. Had a good solid run. And the driver showing promise, but here today, once again, he's still within range that top 5 is doable. And maybe even better. Just got to stay on his game plan. One shoe coming out, he's working his way through. It looks like he's got lap traffic. Yeah, it's Cat Guy who was lapping, but One Shoe's already made his pit stop. It was a very quick pit stop. And he is back out, just made his out lap and should have his first flying lap here. So we'll see how that does him. Let's see what his lap times are when he comes out, because he might, if the new tires might be giving him an edge here on the guys he's short pitting on. That may help him move up. He was running in the 6th spot, 7th spot, I believe, when he pitted. Everybody up to Ed is within his range when they stop, so let's see if he jumps those guys from 5 through 8. Ed Yeager, Survivor, Jiggly Jello, and One Shoe. We'll see how One Shoe comes out once those guys pit. Ride Dog made his stop. It looked like it was a little bit more extensive. He comes out 30 seconds behind One Shoe running in 9th, and he'll be a little disappointed. We got some debris on the track, and we got a car flipping. Ride Dog hit something, and he is over. He has lost. Wow. Made contact with something coming down the front stretch, and he has flipped that car over. He has lost his rear wing, probably part of his gearbox, his front wing. Maybe he was trying to avoid that debris. Looks like there's a pad, a foam block on the front stretch, but he's going to have to roll that thing around without any wings or aerodynamics on it, all the way around. About the worst place that could happen, because he's just past the entrance to pit lane. And that was a wild ride for Ride Dog as he came off the corner, not quite sure what happened. He may have just been swerving to avoid the debris on the track. But meanwhile, Dale the Whale, our race leader, is in the pits, and with the lead that he has, I believe he's thinking that he can make this stop at halfway. He obviously made it this far on tires. He can avoid getting himself penalized or getting any timings on the board. He may be in good shape, as My Name is Jeff comes in right behind him. Not going to lose any disadvantage to him, but both of these guys making it just about halfway through this race, and you got to think they know they can make it from here to the end on no more stops. So right now, you got to believe that Dale the Whale's in the driver's seat. My Name's Jeff. He's getting long. His service is taking a little bit longer. And in fact, he's going to lose position here. The guys haven't pitted yet. Cat Guy, we got any major timings? Cat Guy's got a second rate, and Maestro's got 10 seconds. With Cat Guy and Green Game and temporarily passing us, he's got a long pit stop. I'm wondering if he has some repairs done to the car there, which would be unfortunate, because he looks like the only guy right now that has anything for Dale the Whale here at the fastest road west, Willow Springs. He's coming back out, rejoining in traffic, as we got Survivor hitting the pits as well. Most of these guys coming in right about halfway. The only one I see that took advantage of a short pitting strategy was One Shoe, and as I said, let's see what happens as Survivor and Jiggly Jello come in. Let's see if One Shoe jumps them, where he ends up on the track as they come out. Meanwhile, there is a battle for second as Green Gaming and Cat Guy are right back on top of each other, about 19 seconds off the lead. But Cat Guy goes to pull into the pits, and Green Gaming T-bones the wall and loses a wing. T-bones the pit wall as the two of them were coming side by side into the pit lane. I don't know if he was trying to sweep around him to get a quicker run, but he just lost his front wing, and that is going to kill Green Gaming. Not going to destroy his race, but it's going to definitely make for a longer pit stop as they replace that wing. Cat Guy's already serviced him out. I mean, I don't believe there was contact. I did not see contact there between the two of them coming in. It looked like maybe Green Gaming was just a little hot and then slammed on the brakes, but we'll have to get word from the drivers after the race. Cat Guy, meanwhile, is out and away. Survivor made it out 5 seconds ahead of One Shoe. Jiggly did lose time to One Shoe, so One Shoe came out about even with a short pit stop. He may have gained on Jiggly there for sure. But Green Gaming's got his new wing on. He's going to try to maintain 5th place as he comes out. And in fact, he will. But not really sure what happened there. If there's any more additional penalties on Cat Guy, yes, there is. That's a speeding penalty. That's got to be a speeding penalty on pit lane. Cat Guy's got 11 seconds worth of penalties now, and that could play in factor in the race. But we'll just monitor it straight as we are right now. Back up to the front, cycle our way through Dale the Whale coming out of that round of pit stops, and he has just proven to be the class of the field so far here today at Willow Springs. He's got 45 seconds and nearly a full lap. We'll see where he's at. See the arrow. He's coming through turn 9. Ed Yeager's just ahead of him on the course, or was. Ed's heading into the pits. We've got cars around again. My name is Jeff, spins the car. I believe him and Ed might have got into it. Something happened with those two. Don't see damage or anything missing from Jeff's car, but there may have been some contact as Ed came into the pit lane. Let's see if he's got damage repair going on, which would be a shame because he's had a terrific run as an IndyCar driver. And judging by how he's dropping, no, he does finally get out in a decent competitive spot. He's got Rydog. Got Rydog right behind him, who is a lap down. So he's got company on the track. It looks like he might have banged up that rear wing and maybe had a minor repair on it. And judging by the nature of it, it doesn't always show the repair in the graphics, but I believe that may have been what he was doing. Repairing that wing. There may have been contact between those guys. Judging by how Jeff went around, and I don't see any real damage on his nose, but somebody clipping a cone. And these guys are starting to slide all over the place. They're coming through lap traffic right there. As Jeff goes wide coming through the carousel, he may have banged up that front wing in the incident coming into when Ed came into the pit lane and might be fighting in front of that car, not wanting to make an extra pit stop and trying to keep himself on the podium. He might be fighting with Andy in there. The car looks a little twitchy to me. But we'll have to keep an eye on him and see if he does have a problem. Like Survivor came back out of the round of pit stops in winter there as he came out 2 seconds ahead of Green Gaming with One Shoe who made the early pit. I'm not sure if it was the pit stop. I would have thought he would have had a bit of an advantage with better tires. Might have just had trouble getting in or out of the pits. And I didn't pick up on it. He's about 8 seconds back from these two. Somebody else is on track. I've got that noise telling me that somebody's around. But there's Survivor holding on to 4th place, 17.5 minutes remaining. We've got to guess we've got about 18 laps to go here at Willow Springs. There's still plenty of time for something to happen as Rydog's back in the pit. He's continuing. After that wild ride he took, that wild flip, he's probably working on Excedrin headache number 5 right now. popular cockpit cam for Green Game as he's chasing Survivor down. Green Game and running in fifth. As we said, this would be a good spot if he can hang on to it or even improve it, as he was on the podium last week at Long Beach, setting himself up well. Where they're putting himself in contention for the IndyCar Championship for 2021. Season 1 goes a little wide there. That might be where some of these guys will be picking up those 27 penalties. But he's getting the draft, and you also got to wonder, we don't have a draft that's telling us, but how many push passes would they use? You get 10 of them, 10-second burst of about 50 horsepower. I would have probably used 3 or 4 of them at the start of the race, maybe 2 or 3 of them on an out lap. You got to think some guys, they must have at least a few left. And right there, oh, big hit, big hit. Green Gaiman getting into Survivor and sending him off. He is not even on the screen. That was a clear running up on him by Green Gaiman. We'll see if he's going to wait and give the position back or is just going to take the license points. It looks to me like he might be slowing down. He is. I think he knows that he got into the back of him there. That's a tough break. Green Gaiman, that's going to let one shoe right back into it, Jiggly Jello right back into it, and not to mention the potential damage that these guys might have had. I'm thinking Green Gaiman, his wing is still on. I don't know if the car is holding up. We'll see if he pulls into the pits. No, he's staying out, but I believe he's slowing down, waiting for these guys to come after him. Survivor's going to have to make a pit stop. It looks like he's got damage, and so that incident is definitely going to hurt him, as Green Gaiman ran up on him. Now Gaiman's just got to go ahead and run and take whatever hit he gets from the stewards after the race, but that puts One Shoe Jiggly and Ed Yeager back out in front of him. But we're going to take a look before we get back on this battle here between One Shoe and Jiggly Jello. Dale the Whale, meanwhile, still coming through lap traffic. He is, despite the gigantic lead of 49 seconds, he is by no means in the clear to have any sort of problem. I would expect the tire wear to maintain, based on the fact that the rubber's getting laid down, and the track should be a little better, but we'll have to see. Cat Guy, meanwhile, has to worry about that timing penalty. He's got 11 seconds on him, so that means that he's running second, but he's actually would be bumped back to third. We got another car retiring from the race, and I believe, no, not sure who we got out, but we're down to 9 cars running now with 14 minutes to go. We'll get to the closest battle on the track. Jiggly Jello and One Shoe battling for 5th place. Guys are all lapped down. We've only got 3 cars on the lead lap, and at the moment, as a matter of fact, Dale the Whale coming through the carousel, and 3rd place, My Name is Jeff, is right in front of him, so he's looking like he could possibly lap the field here. Meanwhile, we'll look at the battles for position. Jiggly Jello fighting for 5th, One Shoe right behind him, Ed Yeager not far behind him. These guys part of the hard luck crew, but 4th through 7th is all shuffling, and that points difference there, if I am correct, is 25, 23, 20, 17. That's 8 championship points that's worth. And with Green Gaiman heading into the pits now, may have damage on the car, may be trying to self-impose a penalty. He drives through. Does he make a stop here? It looks to me like maybe he did stop and I missed it, but it's almost as if he did a drive-through on himself. I'm not sure. To check up with that after the race. My Name is Jeff. He's on the pits again with 12 minutes to go. So what's going on here? Needing new tires, damaged the car. He made that first run up to the 25, 24 minute mark with the one set of tires. I'm not sure if he banged the car up, may have made contact. You might almost guess he made contact with some of the debris that is all over the track, but with a bit of a gap, he comes back out in 3rd now. Might be a smart move, just trying to save a decent finish. Meanwhile, let's get back on, as we got a three-way battle going right here. And Yeager trying to take one shoe on the outside. He's on the push to pass. He does, moving into 5th place. Ed Yeager didn't have the kind of race he wanted last weekend. Didn't get into the top 10 at Long Beach. Got the car banged up. And he's got the car a little banged up this week. But if he can salvage the top 5 here, I think he'd be thrilled with that. It would definitely improve his standing in the points and get him much closer towards the top 5 in the standings. Good time to get a look. One shoe seeing, one shoe being conservative with the car. We'll jump up to Ed, who's trying to chase down Jiggly Jello in 4th. These two head-to-head battle for position. And you want to get that, but those of you who saw the battle between Green Gaming and Survivor earlier realize what's at stake. You know, you could go for that position, but if a mistake happens, you're taking yourself out of any real chance for it now. As Ed comes down the front stretch, using the air, he might be on the push to pass. He's got Jello comes over on him a little bit. I'm not sure if he saw him coming up there, but it looks to me like Ed might have been burning P to P. He's an awfully wide. These two are in a dogfight here coming through the carousel. If he didn't make the proper repairs that are just not showing up on the graphic, Ed's got to be dealing with a loose race car too, the way that wing looks. So that's entirely possible that that's an issue for him. But he is battling Jello. This race, as we said, Dale has been in control from the very beginning. And Cat Guy and my name is Jeff have been really the guys looking the best for wear as far as being podium. As far as being podium drivers are concerned. But at the moment, that battle in the middle of the field has been pretty captivating. Ed Yeager still working on Jello. We'll get on board with Jello here and we'll see where Ed's got to be lining up his push to pass and wanting to make a move. You can see Dale's lap times too have started to come back down towards the field, but he's still been faster than the field. He has now lapped everyone but, I believe, Cat Guy. That's Cat Guy in second with Dale right behind him. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the fact that Dale the Whale may be able to lap the field and win this race. But it doesn't matter how much you win by. It gets you in, and that'll be the points that you get. And he needs that after last week. Took the pole last week. I believe wound up finishing 8th at Long Beach. It was a disappointing finish, especially after the first lap spin and the damage to the car. But to come back out here and make a statement like he has, that he's going to be a player in the Flux Motorsport Championship this season, definitely making a statement. Take a look at it again. I'll be ready to switch back when a move is made. It's still chasing Jiggly. One shoe is running with them. Let's see if one shoe's lap stayed with them on that last one. 104.0. Yes, it did. There goes Ed, though, off track. Once again, I think he might have gotten caught by the dirty air. And now he's got one shoe all over him for 5th place. So that battle for the top 5 is just turning into a dogfight. Little man was excited about that one. Thought that was a heck of a move. Want to stay with that fight. Meanwhile, Dale hasn't passed Cat Guy yet. He was just about to put him a lap down. But this has been a fight right now for 5th place. Ed Yeager over one shoe. Cat Guy, meanwhile, holds 20 seconds on My Name is Jeff. And with that 11-second penalty Cat Guy scoring, that makes it 9 seconds. So he's going to hang on to 2nd place. He's going to have to try to maintain that gap. Right here from 4, 5, and 6. This is one fantastic battle with a lot of points on the line. We had 11 starters today here at Willow Springs. A number of regulars were not making the trip out here this week, at least to the desert for this series. And going to be some points won by these guys. We got more races coming tomorrow at 8 tomorrow on Sunday, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we've got the Flux GT3 Championship, the other popular Flux GT3 Championship. They will also be at Zhuhai, China, as Ed goes around coming through Wheelhop Ridge, and it might just be that those tires are starting to give out on him. He has had a good race and has definitely been a contender for the podium, but he might just be losing that car. I gotta give him a shout out, give him a call for a good run, but he's running out of time here with 6 minutes to go. That puts one shoe back into the chase on Jiggly Jello. He's going to be back into that in a minute, but that deserves some screen time here for Dale the Whale, as he is right behind the second place car of Cat Guy and about to lap the field, as he has clearly had the best Velara out here today. And he has, in fact, moved past Cat Guy to lap the field. He has slowed down his pace quite a bit, maybe just because he was running behind Cat Guy. But Dale won his second straight pole to start the season this week, has kept the car clean, has made a single pit stop, and barring any catastrophe, looks like he's in position to walk away with his first career Flux Motorsport IndyCar victory. Cat Guy, meanwhile, running a lap down, running second. After the win last week at Long Beach, he's going to say, no sweat off my back. That's going to keep him in the points lead in the IndyCar Championship, heading into the unpredictable rounds on the ovals at Texas and Indianapolis. And Cat Guy is an oval. Be surprised by how he's run at the road courses, but he is an oval specialist. He is a guy with a lot of experience on the super speedways, and he is going to be a contender in those rounds as well, no doubt. My name is Jeff, 17 seconds to rear. He has 5 minutes to cut that down by about 6 seconds. And with a 102.1 he just ran, he might do it. So Jeff might be able, if not on the track, in the steward's box, the steward's tower, be able to put himself onto that second spot on the podium. And I believe we know, barring catastrophe, who our 3 podium finishers will be. Jiggly Jello has a little bit of space now on one shoe, about 4 seconds. He qualified 4th. He's running in 4th, and after having a little bit of trouble at certain points in the race, including last week, I think he'll come in and take a top 5 finish like this. He's a lap down to the leader. He's had a good run, and he's run up into 104s at times. One shoe, meanwhile, about 7 seconds back from him. You might be seeing the tires go on him. One shoe pitted early, as we said, short pitted, with about 28 minutes to go. So his tires are a little older than everybody else, and that may give Ed Yeager a chance to get back at him for that ever-coveted top 5 position. Used to tell the guys, try to win, can't win, get a podium, can't get a podium, get a top 5, can't get a top 5, get a top 10, and if all else fails, pull her in and yell at your crew. At the moment, looks like Ed's going to go by him. One shoe's car is giving out on him. He went for the short pit strategy. It's not quite working out. That's going to move Ed Yeager back up into 5th. And with everything Ed has seen today, the contact, he's had a couple of off-track excursions, he's fought his way back up and will improve himself after a tough finish last week at Long Beach. Ed is another guy who really is an oval specialist in the IndyCars, and he's looking forward to the Texas and Indianapolis rounds coming up, and getting a top 5 here on the road course at Willow Springs is going to vault him up in the points and just set him up well. This could be a guy that when we leave Indianapolis that mid-season could be up there in the top 5, top 3 in points after the next 2 races. Got to give the tough luck call to Green Gaming. Qualified 6th here today after a podium finish last week at Long Beach. He looked like he was in contention, and then had the incident with Survivor where he got into the back of the 28 DHL car. It's put both guys back. They were fighting for 4th place at the time of that incident, and it's really cost both of them. So we'll have to see how that looks in the stewards' inquiries. But as of right now, combine that 3rd place with a not terrible 7th place finish, if he can maintain the spot. He might even be gaining on one shoe. And now when he goes around again, he has obviously run those tires down to their bare minimum. and Green Gaiman out in the sand, resets it to the track, and he is now going to have, I believe he's going to let Survivor go, given the earlier history of the race, but that's going to move Survivor, who is going to be my next subject, up into the 7th spot. These guys might be running on the bottom of the order running, but as I recall, viewers, that there were 2 other starters at 11th at the start of the field. CMC and I believe Rye Dog have both dropped out, and just like that, Survivor spins it in turn 5, and he has lost his front wing with a minute and a half to go. So I believe we're going to see him come into the pits. He has nothing to lose here. He's several laps ahead of Raven Maestro in 9th. So Survivor, he's going to wind up taking a tough luck race. I think he thought he had a chance at more. He went from a 5th place qualifying run, was running up in the top 3 in the early part of the race, but I believe we're going to see him hit the pit lane. He's got, looks like perhaps even suspension damage along with, no, he's going to stay out. And one shoe is dropping. Is one shoe have running out of fuel? Is he having some kind of problem there? Not sure why one shoe has slowed it down so much, but he has backed off significantly and fallen back to 8th, and that's going to be heartbreaking for him. He was a definite top 5 contender earlier in the race, but he's just rolling it around. It might be fuel in this situation, in which case, if you're going to fall to 8th anyway, you might as well come in and top it off at the end and finish rolling. But as that is, we're down to 31 seconds here. We'll have to see if Dale may be on the white flag lap, but what more can you say here about Dale the Whale? Second to the pole in the IndyCars, had the hard luck, spun his car in turn 9 last week at Long Beach on the first lap and got hit by the field, who was coming up behind him, as we've got Ed Yeager moving out of the way as he's got a car that's partly crippled. But this will be the final lap. Dale the Whale is going to come through turn 9, and it will be Dale the Whale with a clean sweep of the race. Pole, I'm going to bet fastest lap, and the race win, his first career Flux Motorsport IndyCar Championship win. A fantastic performance by Dale the Whale, and he finishes a lap ahead of the field. Cat Guy coming up behind him. Did he have the gap? That's what we're going to have to wait and see. He may not have had enough of a gap once these penalties are sorted out to maintain second over My Name is Jeff, who is also finishing, but we'll keep it on Dale the Whale in the target car. Pole last week, a hard luck 8th place finish as he was in repeatedly with damage, but this week came out, won the pole, likely put up the fastest lap. I'll take a quick look at it. I'm going to guess it is 101.62. Jeff was the only one in the box, 101.645. So Dale the Whale, yes, takes the clean sweep, gets maximum points for the weekend. Clean sweep, fastest lap, pole, and the race win. His first career win in the Flux IndyCar Championship. And he is going to roll out with the win. So we are going to give you, after they shuffle them out here for us, your final results here in the Flux IndyCar Championship Season 2021, Season 1, Round 2 at Willow Springs. Your winner with the clean sweep, fastest lap from the pole, Dale the Whale, completing 42 laps and finishes a lap ahead of the field in a dominating performance in the target. Chevy getting his first career Flux victory. Coming in second, last week's winner at Long Beach, Cat Guy, despite the penalties, still manages to hold off. My Name is Jeff. He's going to wind up second, middle spot on the podium, and will come out of here our points leader in the IndyCar Championship. Finishing third, My Name Jeff had a solid run, started on the outside pole, led early, did have an extra pit stop, as you can see there. He made 2 stops, still drove it back up and nearly got Cat Guy for the second spot. As it is, he will finish on the podium. Finishing fourth, Jiggly Jello with a solid drive. He qualified fourth, drove through some trouble, finished 2 laps down to the leader, but managed to finish fourth. Finishing fifth, Green Gaming with really a hard luck race at times. He had a chance to do a little more, but after he managed the podium last week, that top 5 is going to put him in good stead in the standings. Finishing sixth, the veteran Ed Yeager, 3 laps down to the leader. He had a tough race, had a shot at finishing better, but I believe the Oval Specialist will be happy with a 6th place finish. One shoe bringing it home in 7th position after trying alternate strategy in the
number 6 car, finishing 8th. Survivor had a tough race. He was up there in the top 5 before the incident with Green Game, and he's going to wind up finishing in 8th on the board, as it looks like he took a 30-second penalty. And that 30-second penalty dropped him at least from 6th all the way back down to 8th. So a tough result for him. Raven Maestro grinded it out to finish 9th, as he was, looks like, 7 laps down to the leader with some penalties. He had a tough race and some damage. Rydog will be credited in 10th after retiring. He took that wild flip off of turn 9 earlier in the race, as you will recall, and 11th. CMC retired at lap 11. Well, that's going to do it for myself, Carlin Hicks, here on Flux Motorsport TV. It's been a great weekend of racing. The Flux Stock Car Championship will be back here tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UK, right back here at Willow Springs. Yours truly will be in the cockpit for that one. We should have, I believe, Muttley in the broadcast booth for you. We've also got the GT3s tomorrow at Zhuhai, 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for all of us here at Flux Motorsport, we want to remind you to hit up fluxmotorsport.com, join us on Discord. You can also find the Flux Motorsport store online yesterday with all the Flux swag that you could want. So for myself, Carlin Hicks, and all of us at Flux Motorsport, we want to say thank you for a fantastic race. Thank you for your viewership, and we will see you tomorrow on Flux TV.